Hello! Today I'll show you how to play my LEGO board game Chaosville and how you can help make it into an official LEGO set. BrickoMotion. What is Chaosville? It's a cooperative, family-weight, city-building modular board game made entirely out of LEGO pieces. It plays in 10 to 20 minutes and is meant for 1 to 6 players. I've been working on it on and off for 5 years. And now I'm finally ready to share it with you. I'll start with the story within the game. Chaosville is the latest project of an eccentric billionaire. He has specific demands on how the town should be constructed, and he wants you to produce a micro LEGO Chaosville right now. If your model turns out good enough, he will turn it into a real town, and you will get a building of your choice as a thank you. The game consists of a modular board, locations, and LEGO dice. Everything is built with simple building techniques to ensure stability and easy mending. Because we can be real here and acknowledge that the pieces will fall off and you will need to put them back together. So made it as painless as possible. The board is made out of 5 modules that can be easily disassembled and then rearranged into many different configurations. Like this one, or this one. The board shape itself does not affect the rules of the game, but an unusual design will make it harder for the players to win. It will be clear to you why once I show you the rules. I love that the board border doubles as a road, and my kids love the micro vehicles. I had to more than double the original number of cars, vans, and trucks after they playtested the game. That's what you get when you focus on the game rules instead of the board aesthetics. Silly me. There are 16 different locations in the game. For example, a house, a hotel, a police station, and so on. The ones that occur more than once differ a bit in color, shape, or at least the location of the storm drain. I try to include everything a town would need, like a town square, shopping centers, and an alien landing site. I used similar color scheme to an official LEGO product for the same building, if possible. Like the police or the fire station. The bank is inspired by the Brick Bank. The school is a mix of the Heartlake High and the Performance School, and the hotel loosely resembles the Heartlake Grand Hotel. I did this so the buildings would be subconsciously recognizable to people who follow LEGO. As for the other sites, I put a lot of thought into their color combos. I wanted each of the locations to be unique, but still fit in with the rest of the town. That took a lot of tweaking until I was finally happy with the result, and I hope you are too. Now let's talk about the dice. There are 2 locations and 1 relation dice. The relation dice shows the relation in which the locations need to be to satisfy the demand. The location dice show a location or a location group. All 3 of them put together make up a demand. For example, this is a demand that a restaurant needs to be north of a house. Or you could swap the location dice so that a house would need to be to the north of a restaurant. Then you take the 2 buildings depicted on the location dice and you place them on the board. You can put them wherever you want, as long as they are aligned to the grid. But you'll also want to satisfy the demand, so you don't get a penalty. The relation to the west is the same as the to the north relation, just rotated. Here I got 2 residential buildings. They are the only ones beside the houses that can be rolled on both dice. For one building to be to the west of the other, it's enough for them to share at least 1 row of studs. So this counts because there's a 2 stud-wide overlap. This would count as well. This wouldn't. Both of these 2 relations, north and west, are included twice on the dice. The remaining 2 are harder to satisfy, so they appear only once. A school needs to be across the road of a building. For this to work, both of the locations must be directly next to a street, on opposite sides, with at least 1 row or column of studs in common. That means this would satisfy the demand in 3 ways. And this would be fine as well. So we satisfied the demand with the first location we placed. That means we are free to place the building wherever we want. I'm rolling a lot of buildings in this video. A building needs to be adjacent to an emergency service. I will choose the hospital and place it here next to a pre-installed building. So once again, I can put the other one in a place of my choosing. And that were all of the major game mechanics. We can start playing the game! Notice how the entire board fits nicely into a standard board game box, and how easy it is to set up. We just plug the locations of the board and return any 1x1 round plates you pulled off unintentionally. You also need to determine where north is going to be, in the game obviously. We do that by rolling the relation dice and then rotating the board. The produced game should come with a north marker to make things easier for everyone. On your turn, roll all the dice. Assemble the demand and place the rolled locations from the stockpile onto the board. The stockpile is basically everything around the board where we keep the locations. Then you check if the demand is met. If it is, then it's the next player's turn, and if not, you need to remove a location from your stockpile to the box. You will not be able to build that site in this game. And then it's the next player's turn. This process is repeated until there are no more buildable locations in the stockpile. I say buildable because the building sites come into the game only after the stockpile is empty, and you can't actually build them within the game. At some point during the game, you will have built all instances of a roll. In that case, just place a location shown on the other dice. If all of them are already on the board as well, you can build a site of your choice. But you still have to check if the demand is satisfied, so it's wise to plan ahead, as in board games, as in life. While we're still playing, I'll tell you how you could do that too. Right now, this is the only copy of Chaosville in existence. But if 10,000 people vote for it on LEGO Ideas, LEGO will consider making it into a real set that you will be then able to buy. Link to the project page will be in the description, the comments, in a card, on the end screen, and maybe even written in the sky. No, wait. You wouldn't be able to click on that. Shame. Still, if this sounds fun to you, please consider supporting it. You'll need a LEGO account to do so, and you'll need to answer a few very short questions. Seriously, this explanation is already longer than it takes to support the project. And while you do that, know that you will have my everlasting gratitude. And I really mean that. If Chaosville were to become an official LEGO set, it would make 2 of my dreams come true. A LEGO set I worked on and a board game I designed would be available to buy. I might even be speechless if that happens. If only for a minute. Now back to the game. When the game is over, you may place the building sites from the stockpile onto the empty slots on the board. Then you count up the number of spaces the locations in the box would take up and the number of empty spaces on the board. You want the total to be 0. In this game, we got 1. You can get 0 only by building everything and being unquestionably awesome. If you do that, the billionaire is so impressed with your skills, he builds a real Chaosville and gives it to you. All of it. All the parks, buildings, everything. Now your biggest problem in life is what to do with all the millions that you now have and with the alien landing site. Oh, I really hope they are friendly. Grrr. Bye bye.